From the first to the last minute, every moment matters. Scottish football on BT Sport, sponsored by William Hill.
Good afternoon. It is Derby Day in Edinburgh, and what does the old sign say? Blood doesn't show on a maroon jersey. It's that type of a match. Both teams are on a roll. It could be another special day in the capital.
There is no such thing as a meaningless Edinburgh derby. It's for Hibs. Super goal for Hibernian. Billy King. No relegation today. An explosion of green and white. Amazing shot, Patterson again! The talk of the town are the boys in maroon. Eloraghi, but too late for Hibs. It's out of this walls from Alim Öztürk.
The last derby was unforgettable. It was dramatic in Leith. This one will be played out in front of another sellout at Tynecastle. Hearts v Hibs is live on BT Sport. Kick-off 12:45. The Jambos have led the league table all season long. They're the only undefeated league team in Britain, and that translates to a 15-point cushion at the top over Rangers, with Hibs in third, 19 adrift. It's a mountain to climb for the chasing pack, but Alan Stubbs' men arrive fresh from a 4-0 win over Rangers. They are on a charge, and it makes it all the more compelling today. Let's start by finding out the team news though. Who's in, who's out? Two men with the information, Gary McAllister and Derek Ray. All yours, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, as always, Darryl. Greatly looking forward to this Edinburgh derby, and that has been the talk of the capital city these past few days. Who's going to start? Who's going to be left out? Well, for Hearts, there are a couple of changes from the side that beat Livingston. Note the presence there of Miguel Pallardo, the Spaniard. He plays from the outset this time round. Jamie Walker's included too. Jason Holt has dropped out, so too Billy King. For Hibs, unsurprisingly, it's the same side that defeated Rangers so resoundingly. There is one Hibs note, though. Martin Boyle has been acquired on loan from Dundee, with Alex Harris going in the other direction, so Hibs wasting no time at the beginning of this January transfer window. Boyle begins on the bench. Gary, your immediate reaction to those two lineups?
Well, the thing is, both teams are playing winning football, both teams in great form. The little thing for me about the Hearts side today, I think they're showing respect to this Edinburgh derby. Pallardo's just coming in and giving insurance in front of the back four. As you say, no surprises in the Hibs team, same side. But the one thing for me, watching Hibs recently, the two fullbacks have been very adventurous. Will they be as adventurous today in this big game?
It's the contrast in styles that, in a sense, makes this all the more intriguing, because they have been different the way they've played this time.
They have. You know, certainly Hearts at the start of the season winning by like 4s and 5s, but more recent they've been grinding results, you know, so they've been a little bit more conservative. But Hibs are the team in form. They're the team is on the ascendancy, and they're looking to just catch Glasgow Rangers.
Yeah, and that's a possibility they've got to feel after what they've just done.
Well, that's the incentive for them. They've seen what they've done. They've done to Rangers twice, and there's belief in that Hibs team now.
All right. I look forward to sharing commentary with you a bit later on. But Darryl, for the moment, it's back to you.
Guys, thank you very much indeed. Alongside Stephen Craigan today, two men that know all about this derby. Stuart Lovell, former Hibs captain, and Michael Stewart here too, who crossed the divide, played for both. An ex-player, a wannabe politician. You want to swap punditry for Parliament, I believe. Just before we go on, get on the soapbox briefly, please. What's that all about?
Well, it's something I'm looking forward to, Darryl. As long as you vote for me, I'll be quite happy with that. I was involved quite heavily in the referendum, and it's carried on since then, and we'll wait and see what comes from it.
Stuart, you and me can just stick to the football if that's okay. This is a game we've all been looking forward to, especially after that last derby in Leith.
Yeah, the last one was a cracker. Incredible ending to the match. I thought Hibs dominated the game for long spells and were good value for the win, but An extraordinary strike by Ozturk meant it was level pegging, and I think Hibs will want to try and redress the balance because Hearts have certainly had the edge in the last couple of seasons.
Stephen, who's the favourite today? Because both producing results. Hibs in great form, that result against Rangers too. And you watched them both last time out. I know you hot-footed it, I think, from Easter Road to Livingston.
You know, I think it's hard to try and pick out who's favourites coming into a derby game, you know, particularly when both sides are strong. You know, I just like to look at Hibs last weekend. You know, I thought they were open, they were expansive. I spoke to Alan Stubbs during the week, and you know, he's quite calm, he's quite relaxed, he's really looking forward to the game. He trusts his players. You know, that's the key to it all. You know, he trusts his players. I think it took him 5 or 6 weeks before he could trust them. Robbie Nielsen's been able to trust his players all week. So I think it's on the day, you know, who can get the best out of themselves, who can push themselves, who can get the better of the opponent, and whoever does that, you know, most likely will win the game.
And Michael, is it quite clear that watching the best two teams in this league right now on current form?
I don't think there's any doubt about that. You know, Hibs have been much improved of late. You know, like the guys are saying there, I think the work that Alan Stubbs has put in is starting to pay dividend. And you know, Hearts have always had a great season right from the off, and I think it's fair to say that these are the two top teams in the Championship.
And there come Hearts. It was 1 year ago yesterday, of course, that Hibs last won a derby. 2014 started so well, soon went downhill though. But it does seem right now that they're back on track.
And all eyes focused on Liam Craig. 2014 off to a flyer for Hibernian.
Yeah, scoring the win in the derby at Easter Road was special, and we came off the back of a few good wins going into the game, and obviously that win we wanted to really kick on in the new year. Obviously didn't happen, but you know, still a great feeling to get a winning goal in the derby.
At the time, Terry Butcher said that everything had changed at Hibs, the playing style, the mentality. As I said, this was to mark the bold new dawn. It masked so many problems behind the scenes. There was early optimism, but it quickly faded.
It would take forever to try and explain what went on. I think there was a blame, obviously, in the players and management. I think we've all got to take responsibility. You know, it'll be the toughest period I think I'll ever go through in my career. Over that 6 months.
All the pressure on Cummings. Saved by Cuthbert. And Hibs are going down.
Coming back to Easter Road, the crowd, the huge expectation, I think it maybe caught the young kids up and the pressure began to tell. They end up, we lost on penalties and relegated. One of the things that probably went against us was we only needed one win for about 3 months and we couldn't get that. But we've no one to blame but ourselves. We were terrible, and the squad of players that we had here, we should never have been in that position. You know, we let ourselves down massively, let the fans down, and you know, we let this great club down.
Again, I think there was problems between players and management between the two legs. They were just devoid of confidence. They'd won 2-0, yet they had no confidence. He'd made a few strange statements, and the roof caved in. It was the nightmare scenario for the incoming chief executive, Leanne Dempster. She walked into the job and she had this big decision to make. And I think she made the only one she could. She made the right one. She wanted to rebuild the club from bottom up, from academy upwards, and Terry Butcher just wasn't the man to spearhead that. She needed a bright, progressive manager, and she's got that in Alan Stubbs.
When I actually took the job and when I walked in the door, it was worse than what I thought. It was a matter of trying to get first and foremost players in, trying to speak to the players and find out what's gone wrong, why has it gone wrong. I've got to say the players were very honest about it. They took a big share of responsibility why they got relegated.
I said right away that none of the players could have any arguments if we got released. If Terry was still here, then it would probably be I wouldn't be here. But I was delighted that I stayed. You know, with the new manager coming in, he's been a breath of fresh air for everyone.
On Saturday, as Alan Stubbs probably says, it's one of them where a 9 out of 10. You don't get them very often in a season, but it's great when you get it. It's 4 goals and it's on the telly, and it sends that word out all over the world that Hibs are back and playing the right kind of football.
My biggest point that I took away from the game on Saturday was the end of the game, was when the final whistle went, and to see all the fans there, and for the first time hear Sunshine on Leith. And I've been told a lot about that. but I've never heard it. And I think that was a real poignant moment at the end of the game, and it's one that I hope I'm going to hear a lot more in the coming weeks, months, years.
That was a great day for them. There's no doubt, Stuart, that they are starting 2015 on the right note.
Yeah, they've had a really good turnaround in form. I think the last month, maybe 6 weeks, is the best they've played for a while. Good style of play, open, attacking, and I think the players are coming here with a lot of confidence. There's no doubt about that.
What's been the key to the turnaround under Alan Stubbs, Stephen?
Well, I think he's given them an identity. You know, how they want to play, the style of play they want to do. You know, having spoken to him during the week again, he spoke about you know working on it in training. You know, replicating as much as he possibly can, trying to give the players as much information as he possibly can. And last week's performance, he said, was as near as complete as he can be looking for. You know, time and time again, they passed the ball. I think the way they moved, you know, everybody knew the rules. And when you're a manager trying to make things work, that has to be key.
Michael, they will have taken so much from this result and that performance.
Oh, massively. And, you know, Craigs is spot on there in terms of you could see it's worked on. You know, I'm a huge fan of seeing teams that have got a style and a shape about them, and this happened right throughout the game where the Hibs midfield were breaking through Rangers. They were chasing shadows at times, Rangers, and it was clearly worked on. And you heard Alan Stubbs after the game that day talking about how right throughout the week they worked on getting into areas and where they could punish them, and it clearly worked perfectly on the day. And that's something that's got to be given credit to the players and to the manager, that they do that.
We saw how good he was in the day as well. Scott Allen is becoming so influential for this team.
He's a pivotal player, you know, clever player. I thought the reverse pass for Scott Robertson's goal in the 4-0 victory against Rangers was phenomenal, and his decision making is definitely, you know, key to a team, giving them a cutting edge. That's something that he brings to the team that Hibs definitely didn't have in the second half of last season. They couldn't score goals, they couldn't win games. That has changed now.
But he's not just thrown onto the pitch and expected to give a bit of magic and then forget about him, you know, the rest of the time. He's worked into the shape of the team. You know, the team is built so that he can get into those areas to punish the opposition. Everybody knows he's not, you know, the best at getting back the way and covering defensively, but the team's set up so that he can go and express himself in that final third, knowing that the back, you know, in the midfield is covered. The team's balanced very well.
It's looking good for 2015. The question of fan ownership has come up as well. Suggestions that the fans can buy 51% of the club. Here's what the fans told us today.
I think it's possibly the way ahead in Scottish football, to be fair. Not convinced that the Hibs support will take it up. There is a chance that they will, but we'll see how it goes. But I think definitely for Scottish football, Hearts have kind of shown the way in that respect, and I think possibly it's the way for all Scottish football, not just Hibs and the Hearts.
Motherwell, Hearts, Dunfermline going down that road. I'm glad Hibs are going down this road before we get into any trouble.
The fact that Rod Peter's still there, I think a lot of the Hibs supporters put them off. That would be the drawback. They are getting shorty Petery altogether.
I mean, I think they're going to release details at the AGM about how many shares people can buy as individuals or whatever. But whatever happens, I'm going to invest in the club and own a part of the club, definitely.
Well, we heard they're also free of bank debt as well now. But Stuart, how good news is this for the fans? Is this what they wanted?
I think they've looked over the city at Hearts and seen, you know, how they've managed to pull the support together. There is a monumental difference, don't forget, that this club was in serious jeopardy, and that's something that they had to bring the fans together, a focal point. Hibs don't have that, so I'm fascinated to see whether or not the numbers, they could generate the numbers to make it happen. But certainly, you know, it seems to have been a great move for this club. Dunfermline have done it very well, so I think it's certainly something that will be raised. The main point will be raised at the AGM in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, that AGM is going to be very interesting indeed. Right, coming up next, we will hear from the heart of Hearts, the two men who make them tick in the centre of the park, Gomez and Boabin, two friends who are back together again, this time in Gorgie. We're building up to the Edinburgh Derby here on BT Sport. Always a fantastic day in the capital. One of the most captivating matches in Scotland. Kick-off less than half an hour away. Tynecastle, the venue. Lots more football to come tomorrow as well. FA Cup third round, Dover Athletic against Crystal Palace. Alan Pardew in charge there, that's 12:30. Followed by Yeovil Town of League One against Manchester United. What could possibly go wrong for Louis van Gaal? And then on Tuesday, the All-Premier League clash between Everton and West Ham. That's from 7 p.m. Team news headlines then at Tynecastle today. 2 changes for Hearts. Miguel Pallardo in for his first derby experience, in for Jason Holt. Jamie Walker plays as well, his 100th career appearance for the Jambos, in for Billy King. For Hibs, unchanged, Dominique Malonga starts up front, off to the African Cup of Nations after this. David Gray also plays, despite an ongoing groin problem. He may need an operation. Well, this is the third derby of the season. These boys' Hearts won the first. The last one was drawn in dramatic fashion.
Penalty! Oh, he's missed it! It's a belter! Penalty to Hearts this time, and Robertson sees red. It's Wabin, it's 2. Osman Sow has joined the red card club. El Alaghi, but too late for Hibs. Dominique Malonga wheels away. He's in red. Callum Patterson is off. There's Dirk. Oh, it was ambitious from there. Oh, it's a goal. It's out of this world.
More of the same, please. What a game that was. Now time to hear from 2 men who know each other very well indeed. Prince Boabin and Morgaro Gomez. First formed a partnership at Dundee United. Now they're back together at Hearts.
Prince, Morgaro, you've played together 15 times in the centre of midfield for Hearts. You've lost only once. What's the secret of that successful partnership?
Playing Morgaro for a couple of years when we was at Dundee United, it was really good because he's like an experienced player, which when I moved there he helped me a lot, and then obviously became very close, and it's like off the park he's like a big brother to me.
From day one when I first met him, when he came to Dundee United, Craig Levin told me to look after him, and from day one we just clicked, and on the park I knew he was a good player. From the first time I saw him like playing, like I knew he was a good player, and it was easy. I mean, it's easy to play with him because he's got such a good quality on the ball.
Morgaro, did you see something in Prince when you started working together, and how has he improved?
His shooting.
It's Wabin, Hearts on a victory course.
Everybody knows about Morgaro, he never stops running. That makes me look bad because on the pitch he just runs and I'm just thinking like, what can I do? You know, no, but Morgaro always work hard, you know, and everybody knows that, you know. He never give anyone a chance, even in training. When we play against each other, he always trying to like bully me, but obviously I'm the strong one, so he can take the ball everywhere, like on the pressure and that, and it always calms the game down for us to play.
Is it important to remain calm and composed in the derby atmosphere?
I think so, because that's what the manager's been saying to us the last few weeks, you know. Derby games, back in the days, it was all about like fighting on the pitch, like long ball, but he wants us to just keep calm and just take the ball from any position and just try to play from there. So I think Hibs will be the same. I think they've got some good players, so I think it should be a good game on Saturday.
People are saying that the league title is already a formality for Hearts. Do you agree with that?
I don't think the game is over yet, you know. Obviously we have 15 points ahead, but it's not over to the end of the season, you know, to the last game. I mean, you're just going to have to, like the gaffer said, just have to keep winning.
There's 18 games left, so there's many points like, to play for. So hopefully, you know, we're just going to see what happens game after game. So if we carry on the way we're doing, then we should be okay. But I mean, we don't speak about it. We're just happy just where we are just now, and then we'll see what happens game after game.
Finally, you think you'll win the game?
Yes.
Make it 16 together unbeaten?
Hope so.
Well, Michael, having once played in the centre of the pitch in a derby, how important is the role of both of them today?
It'll be a big importance that, you know the way that Hibs play with a narrow midfield as well, that those two guys, along with Pallardo, that they get the upper hand in the middle of the pitch. But there's no doubting that these two guys have been made a big impact since they came to the club, and I'm not overly surprised that they've struck up a good partnership again, because everybody knows how well they did together for Dundee United.
Yeah, big brother, little brother kind of relationship we were hearing there, but they've built up that understanding as we said at United, and it's just carrying on here, it seems.
Well, that's the reason Craig Levein and Robbie Nielsen have brought them in, because I think it's amazing how many times in the game they actually pass the ball to each other. I know that sounds silly, but at times it looks telepathic. It's as if they know where each other's going to be. And Michael and Stuart will tell you, when you're playing in the middle of the pitch, you need someone you can trust, you need someone you can work with, you need someone you can rely on. And that friendship off the park, for me, carries on to the pitch. Always looking for each other, always looking for an out ball. I think both of them are comfortable in possession. Robbie wants to pass the ball, the two of them are good in the ball. They can get on it, they can make things happen, but they can also put themselves about. And I think that connection is one of the reasons why Hearts have done so well. And I think we'll see today against Liam Craig and Scott Robertson and Scott Allen, it's going to be tough. But, Robbie Nielsen will be confident. Having these two guys in the side, he'll feel his team can get the better of Hibs.
And it is interesting that alongside them, Miguel Piardo is in that team today. It does look as if he's matched up Robbie Nielsen.
I think that Robbie will have noticed Hibs boss the midfield in the last derby, and he'll want to make sure that they don't get outnumbered. I saw a game earlier on this season where Gomez ran the show against Livingston. They didn't lay a glove on him. I cannot see that Hibs will allow that today. I think that they'll play right up against Gomez, as we saw in the game when they lost here in the Cup against Celtic. Gomez, if he gets niggled, can sometimes lose the rag a little bit, lose his discipline. I think handling will play in and around him, and they will stop him from dictating the game.
And the other good news, of course, is Prince Boabin has signed the contract extension until 2018, and Gomez had already signed a 3-year deal, so they're together for a while.
Yeah, of course, and I think if you get a good partnership in there, it can be the sort of bedrock of a successful team. But the guys are right that the last derby at Easter Road, Hibs were by far the better team, and they really got a strong foothold in the middle of the park. And I know for a fact that Robbie will be making sure that he tries to make sure that Hearts get the strength in there to stop Hibs dictating the game.
Okay, it is an icy cold day in Edinburgh today, as you saw the players just warming up right behind us. That's right next to us, look at that, the pitch is definitely churning up. Wonder if that will play some small part this afternoon. Next up, we'll hear from the head coaches. Two men building a solid reputation. Robbie Nielsen undefeated in his first two derbies. Alan Stubbs so close to victory in his. See you soon for more thoughts. Welcome back to Tynecastle. We're building up to the Edinburgh Derby, but we'll be back with you after this on Monday the 12th of January for the Premiership clash between Hamilton and Dundee United. That's 7:30 p.m. on the Monday night. Both teams going really well. And we'll be back with the Jambos as well as they visit Ibrox, Rangers v Hearts, Friday the 16th of January. That's Friday night, 7:30 p.m. also on BT Sport 1. More from all the guys shortly, but first let's hear from Robbie Nielsen, the Hearts head coach ahead of the match. He's with Mark Guidi.
Robbie, you've made two changes today, Holton King out, Piardo and Walker in. What's your thinking behind that?
Yeah, just, it gives us a little bit more strength, Piardo comes in and he's a defensive midfield player, hopefully we can dominate in the midfield, so Billy coming out, Nicholson coming in, with Walker as well, it's, gives us an attacking threat as well. Billy's done fantastic, but I just felt it would give us a little bit of an advantage in there.
Up top as well, you've got Keatings. Have you been pleased with his form in recent weeks?
Yeah, he's been fantastic. It's the last 4 or 5 games he's carried us through games, and hopefully he'll do the same today. I thought his movement and his touch and his goal scoring ability has been great.
Will be a terrific atmosphere out there today. Do you enjoy the derby games?
Yeah, they're great. It's a great experience to be involved in, and enjoy them even more if we get the victory, and hopefully we can do that.
In terms of the progress, Robbie, 18 games, you're unbeaten. Is this beyond your expectations that you had at the start of the season?
I think you always expect to try to win every game that you go into. We've been lucky enough to win 16 of them and drawn 2. So, we approach this game the same as we always do. We work hard, we do the right things, and if we can do that, then we'll give ourselves a great chance of getting 3 points.
People say already that the title's in the bag, but if you win today, they'll say that even more. What do you think about that when you hear that week in, week out, that Hearts are already over the line?
We understand ourselves. There's still a long way to go. Still 18 games, so there's going to be a lot of up and downs. We just have to continue working day to day and hour to hour, and we do that. And that's hopefully we can see that today again.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, that title charge seems to just continue, because since the last draw against Hibs, they've won 7 league games in a row. Although it's not really been 4-0s and 4-0s recently, has it been a little bit less fluid in recent times?
I think it has been, but you know, there's maybe a suggestion that Hearts have been through their bad patch, that you know, the squad's been stretched of late, they've missed some influential players, and you know, the rest of the guys that maybe weren't getting as many games at the start of the season have come in, but they've still had enough to beat the other teams in the Championship. And it's maybe a case that they've had their bad patch and they could, you know, I think they could go the whole season unbeaten now. I genuinely do. Today's a very, very tough game, but if they manage to get the result today, there's nothing stopping them.
That would be some achievement. They have had the injury problems, particularly in the striking positions. When you think El Hasnaoui's been out, Osman So's been out for a while, even Dale Carrick too. So James Keating's coming in and picking up the slack has been huge. 4 in his last 4 now.
Well, he's done very well. You know, I think there's been comparisons this week between him and John Robertson. John Robertson got 27 Derby goals, a legendary Hearts striker. It's maybe a little bit unfair on him, but you know, this is a part of the game I think is going to be crucial for him today. His link-up play, Darryl. You know, being small and maybe not as physical as what Paul Hanlon and Liam Fontaine are, he's going to have to hold the ball up. He's going to have to put himself in front of them. He's going to have to try and protect it. His team are going to need a base to go and play from. He's going to have to be clever with his movement. You know, this was last week against Livingston. He's going to have to play in between people. Because at times if Hearts are under pressure and they throw it forward, they're going to need some sort of outlet. You know, there's no doubt he gets goals, and this is where the comparison comes in with John Robertson. Look at him in the box, little movement, always looking for space, always looking for opportunities. He gets goals. The big question is, can he get them in a big derby?
Comparisons to Robbo, maybe just a touch premature though. He's only got the 263 goals still to get.
I think Keatings is an interesting player, and it's a different dynamic completely from the Hearts that we saw at the start of the season. You know, they had great physical presence with Osman So and also El Hasnaoui. Both of those guys are not available to Robbie Nielsen at the moment, so Keatings, I think, forces them to keep it on the deck, which, let's be fair, suits them down to the ground because they're very much a passing side this season.
Interesting, Robbie Nielsen still saying he wants to add another striker in January though. Right, let's hear from the Hibs head coach now, Alan Stubbs. Back over to Mark.
Alan, you're unchanged from last week, the 4-0 win against Rangers. You must be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm delighted with the way the team's been over recent weeks. So, you know, we go as the same as what we haven't over the last few weeks, and I'm very happy. The lads are really looking forward to the game, so it's got the makings of a really good game.
Scott Allen get plenty of plaudits for his performance last week. Can he dictate this game today?
Well, it's going to be more difficult because obviously Hearts are a good team, but you know, we want to come here and we're going to try and be as positive as possible and try and win the game. So, in order to do that, we need Scott to get on the ball as much as possible.
And on the bench, you've got a new signing. Martin Boyle's in from Dundee. Alec Harris is away the other way, a 6-month loan deal. Is Martin a player you've got high hopes for?
He gives us something different. He gives us another option. He brings real pace to the team, which I've wanted for a number of months now, and so we're hoping that it can work, and he does really well here.
And can you win this derby match today, Alan, and climb up that table?
I don't see no reason why not. I think we're coming into it in really good form. This will be our toughest test up to now. You know, there's no doubt about that. Hearts have done fantastic, but we feel as if we can give them a real good go.
You're 6 months in charge. Are you pleased with the progress and the development of some of your players so far?
Yeah, I've got to say I am. We're getting to where I want to be. I still feel as if we can improve. I hope we finish the window stronger than what we entered it, and that's the most important thing.
Thanks, Alan.
Cheers, thank you.
Biggest test yet. Well, they are in great form, although they will be playing with the last time with Dominic Malonga for a while, off to the African Cup of Nations, their top scorer with 11 goals. My word, they'll miss him, Stuart.
They will. I mean, it was big shoes to fill when El Alaghi was injured earlier in the season. Malonga scored a lot of goals, giving them a cutting edge, but they've got to find a way of being able to progress without him.
They do, and I tell you something that's been so important for them have been the fullbacks. David Gray, you picked out, has been absolutely vital to everything they do. Another man they may lose for a while. He's been battling a groin problem, and it looks like he needs an operation.
Well, he has been, you know, and it's back to what I said earlier about having an identity and, you know, actually watching Hibs and what they're trying to do. And David Gray on the right-hand side and Lewis Stevenson on the left-hand side are absolutely crucial. You know, this was a goal earlier in the season. I think it was back in September at Ibrox. It was a game we covered, and I just wonder, was it a coincidence that one full-back was crossing to the other? But having watched them time and time again, I've actually came to the conclusion, no, it's actually what they're trying to do. And last week against Rangers, it was even more vital. You know, we already spoke about Hibs playing with a narrow midfield. That then means that your width has to come from your full-backs, and we see it here. David Gray at the bottom of the picture, Lewis Stevenson, they're the furthest men forward. They've got the licence to go forward, they've got the opportunity to do it, and it's all about squad rotation and playing rotation, trying to make it happen. And we see it here again. David Gregg, furthest player forward, narrow midfield, lots of space. Go and take the space. You know, this cross into the box is absolutely terrific. And actually what Gary McAllister said at the start of the team news, Tynecastle's a smaller pitch. Will they get the chance to push themselves on and play that expansive style of football? You know, I would suspect they will.
David Gray, of course, has chipped in with 3 goals now. What a strike it was against Rangers too, but even in that last derby we watched, I remember you saying to me you thought the fullbacks played really well.
Well, they did, and they've been a huge success for Alan Stubbs and for Hibs. And, you know, Craigs is right. You know, when they play a narrow midfield like a diamond like that, you've got a lot of expectation for the fullbacks to give you that width. I'm not a huge fan of the diamond per se, but when it was getting worked on properly, and it clearly has been done with Hibs, you can see that it can be effective because the opposition, it's very difficult for them to match up. They really have to change their formation, or they have to really specifically work on how you stop those fullbacks. And Hibs' 2 fullbacks are very good at getting up into those dangerous areas.
Okay, we are almost set to go here. As you can hear, this place is starting to fill up nicely indeed. It's the 3rd derby of the season. When we return, no doubt the old anthems will be blaring out, almost ready to go, and as usual, the stakes are sky high. It is a sellout here at Tynecastle, and we cannot wait for the 3rd Edinburgh derby of the season. Almost set to go, just waiting for those teams to appear behind me. So while they're getting ready, it's important that they keep the emotions in check today, because every derby this season, Michael, players have been sent off.
Yeah, it's an emotional game, and when you hear the crowd behind us here, you start to understand how that can spill onto the pitch at times. But, you know, like I did throughout my career, you've got to keep the head.
You kept the head, I can't believe that. Stuart, there's no doubt though that might just be a bit of a bad taste in some of the mouths of the Hibs players, given what happened at the end of that last derby.
Yeah, I think so. There's no question that I don't know whether revenge would necessarily be the word, but it's about trying to go into this game with a score to settle to some degree, and they'll want to level things up.
Danny Wilson there, just waiting for Hibs to appear. He's captain again, of course, of the Jambos. Hibs, though, have probably not come into a derby in such good form for quite some time, Stephen.
Well, I think we've seen before, you know, in derby games, sometimes form goes out the window, but Alan Stubbs is confident. He knows what his team are all about. He'll be just saying to his players, replicate what we've been doing in training, replicate what we've been doing in games, believe in yourselves, pass that ball, believe in the system we're playing in, trust your teammates, and you've got a great chance of winning this game.
Look like Hibs were just keeping them waiting for a few seconds there, but they are out now. And look at the focus, they're ready to go. So are we. Over to your match commentators, Gary McAllister and Derek Ray.
Thank you very much, Darryl. Good afternoon, everyone. In a capital city where history is all around you, this derby fixture truly stands the test of time. In the past, greats like Bold and Riley, Prentice and Cropley have pitted their wits against each other, just as a new year has burst through. Now is the time for the current Hearts and Hibs generation, who will emerge as the hero or villain in this Edinburgh derby. A chilly winter day in Gorgie, but the sky is blue and the sun is gleaming. The Heart of Midlothian side shows 2 changes from the 1-0 win at Livingston. Miguel Pallardo and Jamie Walker are the 2 players drafted in. Walker, a relation of the late, great Hearts player and manager Tommy Walker. Dropping to the bench today, Jason Holt and Billy King. Hibernian are unaltered. It's the same 11 that destroyed Rangers 4-0. Lewis Stevenson takes part in his 27th Edinburgh derby. On the bench, Martin Boyle, signed on loan from Dundee, is available, while Dylan McGeoch, who has missed the last 9 matches with an ankle injury, could feature as well.
Yeah, the both shapes. Hearts will go 4-1, 4-1. Pallardo brought in as the defensive insurance for the influential Waban and Gomez. Hibs unchanged, same shape. They'll go 4-3-1-2, employing that diamond in the centre of the park, which means those full-backs need to get forward.
This is the 633rd meeting of Hearts and Hibs, if you include local as well as national competitions. It all began on Christmas Day, 1875, just a few miles from here at the Meadows. Edinburgh's big football day. Heart of Midlothian versus Hibernian, always tense, invariably meaningful. Hearts begin the day 19 points ahead of their capital rivals and 15 clear of second-place Rangers. And Öztürk, that's a mistake right from the outset, and it was fired towards goal by Jason Cummings. Well, Öztürk, who was the Jambo's hero in the last derby.
A little bit hesitant there, Öztürk. Cummings didn't shy away from having a pop at the goal.
We spoke about heroes and villains in this gargantuan fixture. Öztürk's flair for drama very much coming to the fore at Easter Road in October, but it's nearly a grievous mistake in the first few seconds of this contest.
Most definitely nearly the villain there. After that wonder strike at Easter Road. Good strike by Cummings.
Dominic Malonga, maybe his last Hibs game for a while. He heads off to the Africa Cup of Nations with Congo. Trying to team up with his colleagues in Brazzaville after this. Liam Craig snapping it.
They're just going across the back four. There's a little foul there by Craig.
Never quite know what to expect in an Edinburgh derby. We're underway. Hearts attacking the goal to our left. Playing towards the Roseburn end of the ground. That's the Hibs end. Just do it forward, missing out the midfield area. Intended for James Keatings. Winner in judgment this time by the Hibs centre-back, Liam Fontaine. Keatings ambitious. Knocked down by Scott Allen. And he's been in fantastic form. Set up 3 of the Hibs goals in the 4-0 win over Rangers. Lewis Stevenson occupying the left-back position. Vastly experienced Lewis Stevenson.
Can Scott Allen be as influential as he was against Rangers? I think he's had a very good season so far.
Once again, Hearts going from back to front. It was Danny Wilson that time. Craig trying out for the ball to be played to him. And Stevenson delivered on that front. And Patterson has demonstrated in the recent past that he can be a derby match winner. Robbie Nielsen, the Hearts head coach, have to be impressed with the start he has made. And the start to the season Hearts have made.
I don't think anybody would have called the start. It's just phenomenal start. 16 wins from 18. It's amazing.
Stevenson's throw, Danny handling, and just off the front. David Gray. Changed of direction by Cummings. Fontaine. Stevenson. First by Jamie Walker. The Hibs have got bodies inside the penalty area. David Gray was arriving late. He's not going to get away with that. Gray on Adam Eckersley. And Stevenson got injured on the far side.
I think he just takes a kick in the side of the head. Takes a little blow there. Liam Craig does well, hangs up at the back post. And again, it's David Gray, being very adventurous, very high up the pitch, getting himself in the box. A big feature of his play, Derek.
And it's that Hibs system, Gary. You heard Stephen Craig in the build-up talking about it. With the narrow midfield, it allows Gray to do damage in the wide position.
Well, I just felt maybe in a big game like this, in a derby against the league leaders, they might have played a little bit more conservatively. And this time again, it's Patterson with the foul and Malonga. Oh, but it looks as if they're going to be brave in those full-back areas, Hibernian. We're only 5 minutes in.
The referee is Stephen McLean. He's passing off the yardage. Scott Allen at the controls for Hibernian. Scoop that one in off the head of Paul Hanlon. Not quite what he had in mind. Paul Hanlon, Edinburgh born. This 19th Capital Derby. Well, it's more noisy than it is neighbourly.
Well, that's one thing about this fixture, the crowd doesn't let you down. Great atmosphere inside Tynecastle, probably one of the best outside the Old Firm. Oh,
Danny Wilson wasn't quite ready for it. With Alexander between the posts for Heart of Midlothian.
He was looking the other way, as that was played to him.
Wilson, the captain, words were exchanged between skipper and keeper. Stevenson's throw for Hibs. It's fair to say Hibernian were the better team for the lion's share of the last derby. As Hearts did it the hard way, down to 10 men as they were. Callum Patterson sent off. But who could account for the brilliance of Öztürk in the dying embers of the game? Sam Nicholson just running into trouble. Scott Robertson was in the vicinity. Cummings trying to locate it. Offside flag was up anyway.
Well, initially it's great hustling by Robertson. Robertson tries to flick it round the corner, coming just offside. It's half a yard.
Craig opposing Prince Gwabin. It's hard to take your eyes off the action in an Edinburgh derby, even for a fleeting moment.
Yeah, loads of challenges. There's been a few mistakes already as well.
Jamie Walker. Keating's in pursuit of it. Hanlon trying to boss Keatings. Mark Oxley has custody of the ball. Alan Stubbs in his first season at the helm of Hibernian. And real signs of life from the High Bees in recent weeks. So trying to close in on Rangers, current occupants of second position. But only the winners of the championship get automatic promotion to the top flight of Scottish football.
Yeah, just having a little chat pre-match there. I can just sense he's starting to enjoy the job.
David Gray taking the throw. Alan Stubbs did tell me earlier that they penciled in the 12th of January for David Gray's operation. Groin surgery that's required. So that would technically make him available for the Falkirk game next time out. Prince Gwabin. 26-year-old, born in Ghana, but moved to the Netherlands at the age of 9, came through the Ajax Youth Academy, de Toekomst, as they call it, the future. There's a big part of Hearts' present.
Yeah, absolutely. Very confident in possession. I think with Payardo in the team, he can get himself forward a little bit more.
Sam Nicholson trying to find it. Scott Allen winning that little joust. The referee spotted that infringement. Nicholson just walks away. Allen on the ground.
And his composure balance as he plays it. That's a little bit late by Boivin. As you can see clearly here, the ball's gone, and then just a little tap on the heel.
Prince Gwabin, the offender. Former Scottish Cup winner with Dundee United. Liam Craig. There's a lot of culture to Craig's football. We didn't see too much of that in the second half of last season with Hibernian. It was a season of grim toil for all concerned. And a new lease of life now in the championship.
Yeah, confidence had completely gone at Easter Road. A totally different group of people.
And Morgado Gomez knew what he was doing, and he's fouled Scott Allen.
This is 2 or 3 times that the Hibs midfield have went in there and robbed the Hearts players, pressing very high.
It's been a slightly jittery opening by the Jambos.
Yeah. Hearts are trying to work the ball into the middle of the park, but Hibs are ready. They're ready to pounce. They're looking to press.
Nicholson, 2 of the players in that maroon wall. Liam Craig surveys the scene. Just over 10 minutes on the clock. Craig, deflection there. Alexander grabs hold of it.
No, you can see clearly it's not a clean strike, but it's off Prince Blabbin there. And safely into the hands of Alexander. I think they're taking risk here, trying to pass out, and I don't think it's on.
That's why we've seen a few long balls by Hearts in the early going. Gomez. Scott Allen this time the culprit.
Across the middle third, there's a few challenges, another one just a little bit late. Not a great deal of contact.
Miguel Pallardo, his first Edinburgh derby, flicked on by Sam Nicholson. Pride of Pennycook. Gomez. With Danny Wilson. Beaten in his 7 previous Edinburgh derbies. 5 victories for Hearts in that run. I wonder if the pitch is going to be a big talking point, the extent to which it might cut up. Gomez. Adam Eckersley offering support. Now it's Pallardo. Prince Blabbin. Almost to force his way through. Wilson looks for options higher up the pitch. It's going to be Oxley's ball.
This time it was Jason Cummings closing down Danny Wilson. I was looking to press the ball on every occasion.
Wilson urging his players to give the ball to Callum Patterson a bit more, pointing out that he's been afforded a bit of space. And we'll see if the players deliver on that message. Here's Stevenson. Fontaine. Keating's trying to apply a bit of pressure. Paul Hanlon's pass. Stevenson, Malonga. And stretching was Öztürk. Here's the aforementioned Patterson. Contact there. Dominic Malonga. And Callum Patterson.
No, this is just an untidy centre forwards challenge. Patterson just plays it up the line just a little bit late. Just untidy.
Scored in the October derby, Malonga, 25-year-old Parisian of Congolese parentage. Eckersley. Now it's Walker for Hearts. And the concession of a corner by Scott Robertson.
I tell you, Eckersley just rolls this into the path of Walker. And Robertson does well just to stay up on his feet to time the challenge.
First corner of the match. Öztürk joining the throng as Walker takes it, looking for that far post. And Danny Wilson was one of the targets.
It's a decent ball whipped into the back post area. Can't get a clean header on it, Wilson.
Well, Robbie Nielsen is trying to change one or two things. Hearts were a bit slow in coming out of the blocks today.
Yeah, he was looking for switches of play. As Hibs going searching the ball, closing down, they're putting loads of bodies on one side of the pitch, so the switch is on.
As far as early possession is concerned, Hibs with the edge.
Yeah, they've started the better of the two teams. They're on the front foot.
Have won 13 of the last 21 derby meetings with the Hibernian. 3 Hibs triumphs throughout that span. I think that noise you heard was the PA system here at Tynecastle. Don't adjust your television set or your iPad. Stripped away by the Hibs right back, David Gray. Quarter of an hour gone. Hearts and Hibernian. Third Edinburgh derby of the championship season. Adam Eckersley launched his career with Manchester United. Sam Nicholson trying to cut a swathe through the Hibs defence. Robertson and Gray trying to attend to Nicholson. It's Gray's challenge.
He was aggressive in the challenge. He's seen the ball, as he's indicating there.
And the ball in return. Nicholson just got on with it. Back up onto his feet, and now Eckersley to take the throw. Sam Nicholson, change of direction. Beautiful flick. Walker. Nicholson through a thicket of Hibs legs. Eckersley's header. Keatings was fighting for it. Hibs on the back foot now.
Yeah, nice little combination between Nicholson and Walker.
And the ball was clearly kicked away. And Scott Allen being spoken to by referee Stephen McLean. Stephen McLean's third Edinburgh derby. Eckersley. Scott Allen, meanwhile, being serenaded by the Hibs fans behind the goal there in the Roseburn stand. There's a competition in terms of who can sing the loudest at the Edinburgh derby. Bit of taunting going on there. Heart supporters in the Wheatfield just in front of us, and the Hibs fans in the Roseburn.
A very competitive little corner down there.
Danny handling. It's forward by Paul Hanlon. Cummings looking for it. Wilson away. Craig. Fontaine. Here's Stevenson. Cummings and Malonga waiting inside the box. Handling. Craig. Cummings. Forward against Öztürk. Keatings, the lone front runner in this Heart system.
It's so important when the ball is played up to his feet. As the lone striker, he's got to try and keep hold of it. Just dismissed it a little bit too early there.
And still without Osman Sow. Just 8 games with a thigh injury. Soufiane El Hasnaoui also absent. Been out for 5 matches due to an ankle problem. So it's James Keatings in attack for the Jambos. This is Scott Allen for Hibernian. Little touch on. Cummings attempted that. Scott Allen has been the man to make things tick for Hibs. Hearts are really having to shuffle things around, what with Osman Sow being out of late. Find a system that works. They haven't done badly when you look at the results, Gary.
No, but yeah, he has been missed. He gives them that other option. I like Keatings though. He's always in the move, looking for little openings. So gives you that physical presence.
It's Jamie Walker who's on the ground. Danny handling. Allen. Walker still is down. Allen looking for a bit of sympathy, not getting any from Stephen McLean.
The Hearts players were looking for Allen to kick the ball into touch. He's in a little bit of trouble.
Writhing in agony, Jamie Walker, the 21-year-old, his 100th career appearance.
Just as he was up with Hanlon there. Doesn't look a great deal there, is it the way he lands? Oh, just the way I think he lands into his calf. The sole of Hanlon's boot.
Jamie Walker's great uncle was the legendary Tommy Walker, former inside forward, manager of Hearts during their successful era. Bobby Nielsen now the man in charge. There's Stevenson, Loading a bit gingerly as well, Gary.
As you can imagine, the challenges are fierce. There's been a good pace to the game. I don't think anybody wants to go off in this game, though.
It means so much to so many. Patterson, wayward to say the least. Getting close to Eckersley.
You'd have to say on 2 or 3 occasions inside this first 20 minutes, they've just tried to force it too much for me. They're trying to play in areas where they shouldn't be.
Well, Stevenson has just given the Hibs bench the thumbs up. Cummings looking to burrow his way through against Eckersley.
And another strong challenge goes in from Eckersley. Cummings trying to dance round outside. Here comes Eckersley. Whoosh. Take that.
Hibs first corner taken by Allen. This time it comes off Gomes. Brian will do it again. He's always vocal. He might be young, but he's extremely confident.
He's got confidence in abundance.
Scott Allen, the corner. He's trying to keep it alive. It was Paul Hanlon contorting his body. Atmospheric here in Corgi. A paucity of goal-scoring chances.
I think Alan Stubbs will be the happier of the two. Put Hearts under good pressure and forced them into mistakes.
Scott Robertson and Dominique Malonga. Scored 11 goals in 15 matches for Hibernian this season. David Gray drawing a crowd. Kindly, it's time for Morgado Gomes. And the idea was to spring Sam Nicholson on the Hibs defence.
Just as he played the pass, the ball just sat up on him. Again, it's an unforced error.
David Gray certainly proving that he's the man for goals against Rangers. Spectacular goals at that. Craig handling. Allen. Oh, and it's a wonderful ball and a terrific goal. Jason Cummings. Hibs have a lift-off in 2015.
I have to say they just deserve it for me. What a wonderful, wonderful ball by Scott Allen. Simply takes out his feet. He doesn't even look, he plays it pretty blind. He just whips it into that area. It's great movement by Cummings and the finish is exquisite. Here you go, he's facing the opposite stand, he whips it in. Ostap doesn't match the run of Cummings. And Cummings, confident as ever, little side foot finish. They deserve it.
Alan Stubbs was willing it home. Jason Cummings with his first derby goal. Well, he's going to pay the price for the nature of the celebration. A yellow card for Cummings, the 19-year-old who put pen to paper on a new deal with Hibs back in July. He's got them bouncing in the Roseburn stand. 1-0 to the Hibs.
But harsh, the yellow card. 19-year-old scoring in an Edinburgh derby. How can you control the celebration?
I think he gestured towards the Hearts supporters. That's what we're hearing, and we'll have a look at that again. Cummings with the goal. Let's see what sort of response it will elicit from Hearts. Payarda. Patterson. Snapped away by Fontaine. And free kick this time. Hearts haven't really been able to get going.
I think they've been forced and rushed into passes because of the intensity of Hibs. Hibs is closing down. It's unsettled Hearts. I think on occasion they've just tried to force the play, trying to force little passes into dangerous areas in their own half.
They were up and about early, some of those Hibs fans. I saw them on their way into the ground today, one of the local hostelries. Early start for the staff there too. Craig just couldn't keep the shot down.
Oh, what a wonderful ball in, Scott Allen. It's a cool finish. There you go, he just cushions it into the bottom corner.
He's not one to play down his own contribution either, Jason Cummings, is he? I wonder if he'll feel that was the touch of an angel.
There was a touch of an angel there.
The Hibs players not entirely happy with this latest decision made by referee Stephen McLean.
Oh, there's absolutely nothing there. I don't know what he sees there.
Payardo standing over the free kick. As Cummings back to 10 yards. It comes from Payardo. Held by Oxley. And Stevenson quickly forward to Dominic Malonga. Payardo doing the defending for Hearts. Stevenson. Craig. Space opening up for David Gray. Succeeded in keeping the ball in. Gray against Wilson. Eckersley. Corner.
A good phase of play by Hibs. Working it well down the left and then coming out and switching the play to Gray. Eckersley was at full stretch there.
Glum faces on the Hearts sections of the ground. Scott Allen with a corner here. It's Fontaine. Important block by Patterson. Well, Walker moves in.
That was a good block by Patterson.
And the goal that separates them from Jason Cummings. Youngster who was blocked from Hutchison Vale. Stevenson with the throw. Now Scott Allen. Craig. Prince Glavin. Using Callum Patterson. Darting run made by Keatings. Fontaine went after it. Hearts ball. Patterson, who was used up front in the recent win over Cowden Beef, is highly versatile, but prefers to be used at right back. Öztürk. And it's Eckersley. Hibs with the lead, and it's a well-merited lead.
Yeah, they've had a definite game plan. They've went and pressed Hearts very high up the pitch. The two forwards have went after the Hearts back four.
As though either side has created a boatload of chances, but more purpose, more composure about Hibernian.
They're getting into the better areas. They look composed. Hearts just look a little bit ruffled.
David Gray launches it forward. Öztürk going to get dropped. Handling now. Malonga. Handling. Back to Stevenson. Cummings again. But wide of the mark. The goal was gaping at him.
This is a golden chance. There's a great ball in by Stevenson. Should he go back across the goal? He's got acres of space. Tries to direct it into the keeper's left. Beautiful ball in. He just doesn't get it right. What a chance.
Will that moment come back to haunt Hibernian? It was on for Jason Cummings.
got himself in a little position between Eckersley and Wilson.
Walker trying to put the pressure on Fontaine. That comes Oxley. And Walker on the ground yet again. This is Gray. Oxley took quite the whack. Tony Walker. Payardo. And Eckersley. In direction as Hibs continue to press. And Eckersley to release Sam Nicholson, but David Gray was there. Tony Walker is back up on his feet now.
He's been in the wars. I think he just took the follow through there from Oxley as he cleared.
Did win the New Year derby last season, that was at Easter Road. Just one victory in the last 10 Tynecastle visits. Eckersley. Nothing wrong with the idea. It's Blabin in the advanced position. Nicholson now. Patterson. Sam Nicholson. To deliver the telling ball. Oxley really have too many bodies to worry about around him, and here's Walker off target.
It's good work here by Nicholson, gets on the outside of Stevenson. Oxley's just a little bit unsure about his positioning here. He does well, Walker. The angle's just against him. He had to go with the outside of his right boot. Does well to dart in. Just hits the side netting. And this is the follow through. Oh, dearie me. He does well to got from that one.
Oxley wasn't going to be beaten, was he? Good heavens.
The full run from the keeper.
Keatings. Efforts on target by Hearts up to this point. Eckersley. Blabin. Trying to work something with Keatings. Scott Robertson was well aware of what was going on. Danny Wilson now for Hearts. Miguel Payardo. Patterson. Nicholson, Patterson. And Callum Patterson has a go.
The full-back just trying to instigate something, drives inside, just pulls his shot.
Don't forget it's Hamilton against Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership. That's coming up on Monday the 12th of January. BT Sport 1, 7:30. In the Championship, Friday the 16th of January will be at Ibrox for Rangers against Hearts, on the air at 7:30. Again, it's BT Sport 1. Don't forget about the BT Sport app as well. Greg's pass, it was eaten up by Öztürk. Walker. Eckersley to his left. And Eckersley over-eager.
I don't know who he was looking for there. A little ball into the feet of Keatings. And just hits it over. Right over everybody. It's been typical of Hearts, they've been in a rush.
Supporters are enjoying it so far. Different story for those wearing maroon. There's Stevenson. And Patterson tidying up. His 10th Edinburgh derby. Scored 3 goals in his previous 9 against Tavernian. There's Stevenson, turns 27 on Monday. Longest serving player on the Hibs staff. Craig to link up with Stevenson.
Very consistent, Lewis Stevenson. Can play in a few positions as well. You know what you're going to get.
Plenty of young Edinburgh football fans watching today. Here's Eckersley. By Gray. Longa with Blabin. Longa takes the tumble. And he's in pain. Clearly. The tackle comes flying in. Payardo goes down. Liam Craig didn't feel there was too much wrong with it. Stephen McLean taking a dim view of the challenge. Talking to Liam.
In it. And this is the one where Malonga gets caught. He gets caught by the sole of Prince Bobbin's boot.
It was a lengthy rebuke, and then finally the yellow card for Liam Craig in his 60th Hibernian appearance. Payardo set flying. Malonga is back in business now. There was a bit of concern on the Hibs bench about him prior to that incident, Gary.
Yeah, it was just the sole of Prince Blabin's boot dragging down the inside of his leg.
Öztürk. Danny Wilson rising up there. He had Liam Fontaine for company. Nothing there. In no great hurry. After all, they have the lead here at Tynecastle, courtesy of Jason Cummings.
That's the great ball in from Allen. It's good movement from Cummings. Not so good defending by Öztürk, but the finish is classy. He just cushions it into the corner. I think he was obviously yellow carded for his celebration, making gestures to the crowd.
Fans are very close to the action here at Tynecastle. Corgi stand behind the goal. Liam Craig couldn't find the ball. Scott Robertson just ahead of Prince Blabin. Frustration, the watchword for Hearts in this first half.
They've been frustrated. Been forced into mistakes by the good pressing of Hibernian.
David Gray. Eckersley forced to back off. Gray. That was by Eckersley initially. Then goes Gomes. Trying to become the first team in the Championship to inflict a league defeat upon Hearts this season. There's Stevenson with his weaker foot. When it comes to handling, we'll get a second crack at it. Then again by Allen. Scott Allen, very much the architect-in-chief for Hibernian these days.
And again, he was just trying to cleverly pop one up to the back post.
Eckersley. Gomes. Insufficient guile from Heart of Midlothian.
They've been quick to press Gomes and Prince Blabin and Payardo.
Longa was asking for the decision to go his way. The arms outstretched. Patterson. Trying to find that pocket of space. It's Paul Hanlon slightly off balance. It falls for Eckersley. Walker now. Jamie Walker! Exquisite! Listen to the Corgi roar!
Another
belter from Walker. Hearts on level terms.
And it's Eckersley into the path of Walker. He's looking for that inch of space. Just takes it to the side of Scott Allen, and what a wonderful, wonderful finish. He makes half a yard here, and it's a great strike, and Oxley has got no chance. Great strike, lays up right in the side netting. The ball's past Oxley as it hits the net. He's been in the wars, Walker, and another scorer gets booked.
Well, we've seen that before, Gary. A booking after the fact, this time for Jamie Walker. His 100th career appearance, his 11th Edinburgh derby. And of course he has Ultimate Lothian in his blood. Related to Tommy Walker, one of the club's greatest players and most successful manager in their history.
He had only one thing in his mind, Derek, as he drove inside, and that was to let fly, and it was such a pure strike. It was past Oxley before he could even dive.
I must say there was scant evidence that a Hearts equaliser was forthcoming. I think a bit of a disjointed performance. Alexander with a less than glorious clearance, but it's lifted the atmosphere in the Gorgie stand and in the Wakefield where we are. Nicholson forward, Liam Craig for Hibernia. Walker, the goal scorer, limping noticeably.
Just that's above his shin pad, that graze.
Malonga has to get the break of the ball. Allen now looking to discomfit Öztürk. Patterson, too long, too strong for Keatings. Flex and Salve on the air next Saturday, 10 in the morning. BT Sport 1. They'll get you in the mood for Sunderland against Liverpool in the Barclays Premier League from midday with Jake Humphrey and company. Also BT Sport 1. Stevenson, chisel ball, and it takes off. See how close to the field of play the fans are.
There's good sportsmanship there. Handling getting a cuddle from the Hearts fans.
They're wondering what to do about Jamie Walker on the Hearts bench.
I think it might have just been in his follow-through from the goal.
In the last couple of minutes, a frantic first half. Patterson gives it away. Liam Craig was in the vicinity for Hibs. It grinds to a halt here, much to the annoyance of Cummings. So he kicks the ball away. Now you've got to be careful when you've been booked already.
I tell you what, he's got to be careful. He's definitely offside. He's on a yellow, and that's a yellow card offence. He's a lucky man.
Nicholson did well. Walker to play through the pain barrier. Still not moving entirely freely. Allen. Away goes Malonga. Cummings and handling waiting in the centre. Malonga just trying to do too much. Allen. Here is Gray. Robertson. Goes Lee. Foil David Gray. There's Fontaine, unaware of the presence of Keatings. Handling, just going to let Lewis Stevenson do the honours. That will be a goal kick. Liam Craig competing for it. In this derby.
He just drives inside here, and as he lets fly, it's maybe just the follow through there.
a great strike from the youngster. Will be one added minute. First half that has flown by, it is usually thus in this fixture. Gomes, so he was outnumbered. Allen runs into Wilson. And somehow, the flow continues to flow. Patterson trying to find another gear. Robertson, his direct opponent. Well, credit to Callum Patterson for keeping that alive.
Yeah, he's looking for a free kick. He battled past 2 challenges. Stevenson, then Robertson.
Robbie Nielsen won't have been happy with the pattern of play for most of this first half. Make no mistake, the Jambos were outplayed, but they've got themselves on level terms. Jason Cummings with a beautiful opening goal set up by Scott Allen. But then it was Jamie Walker time. The equaliser and a quality goal from Walker as well. At the break, Hearts 1, Hibernian 1.
Welcome back to Tynecastle. What a first half we just had. It's 1-1 here. FA Cup action tomorrow. Non-league Dover Athletic against Crystal Palace with Alan Pardew in charge. Followed by Yeovil Town against Manchester United. Welcome to the FA Cup, Louis van Gaal. And then Tuesday night, the All-Premier League clash between Everton and West Ham. That's 7 p.m. So much to talk about, so much to debate, but Hibs started the better of the two teams today and took the lead. Jason Cummings, he says a lot about himself, but you can't argue with the finish.
Well, it's a great move again. Hibs, good switch of the play. The man we spoke about before the game, Scott Allen, with a lovely flighted ball. Great movement from Cummings and a really, really tidy finish.
But I think you just look at David Gray's movement, Darryl. You know, we spoke pre-match about his willingness to get forward, and sometimes it attracts players to you. But let's not take anything away from the cross. It's an absolutely terrific cross. Sometimes as defenders, you can't defend them. You know, you're frightened to stick a leg out. Jason Cummings, right place, right time, and a terrific finish.
I think Craig says that, you know, sometimes the defender can't, you can't do much about it. And I agree to a certain extent, but I think the problem there is that he's almost blinded by the sight of the ball. It's such a good ball that he's too late to react, and as soon as he stalks for that second, there's nothing he can do. But if he'd reacted a split second earlier, he might have been able to block it. But great ball from Scott Allen and a very tidy, composed finish from Cummings.
He was booked for his celebration as well in front of the Hearts fans. He should have probably made it 2-0 straight afterwards, Stuart.
Again, Hibs using their fullbacks. Stevenson with a ball into the far post, and I would always look to try and head that back across the keeper. I think that Neil Alexander's drifting across with the flight of the ball. If Jason Cummings heads that back towards the post.
I would just like Eckersley to talk to Danny Wilson. Danny Wilson's ball watching a little bit. Yeah. You remember we did a couple of games here last year when they were in the Premiership, and we spoke about how at times Danny Wilson gets attracted to the ball. Eckersley has to just give him a little shout. Just, he has to be aware. Most teams in this league play with one striker. Hibs are playing with two.
It didn't look likely, but Hearts got back into the game. They've had this quality all season long. Superb finish, Jamie Walker.
It's a great finish. I think though that he just watches this ball comes into Walker. Scott Allen overcommits by half a yard, and it allows Walker to get on the inside of him. You just watch it here. He's doing the right thing. He wants to close him down, but he's not naturally that defensive type of player. And with a guy like Walker, with the quality he's got, as soon as he gets a sight on goal, bang, he gets that. And a number of times that's happened this season for Hearts, where they've not been playing particularly well, but they've got a moment of magic that's got them back into the game. These are the differences in these big games.
He had a sighter just before that as well. He hit the side netting, but you wondered, Stuart, if he actually could have got a second yellow card. He was booked before that too, and then this happened.
Well, just a little bit of over-exuberance by Jamie Walker here. You see he goes sliding into the tackle. He does catch David Gray. You can just see him with his playing foot. I think if David Gray had made a meal of that challenge, there's a possibility that Jamie Walker would have got a second yellow and, of course, subsequently been sent off.
But in fairness then, Jason Cummings, could he have seen a second yellow by the letter of the law? He threw the ball away. He'd been booked for celebration.
But that's when players have to be careful. That's when players have to, try and stay calm, stay composed, not get caught up in the moment, not get frustrated, particularly when you've been booked. And that's when, as a manager, you try and speak to your younger players and say, you have to learn, you have to try and set a precedent, look after yourself on the pitch, make sure it's still 11v11.
I think for the referee, it's good that he's not giving them bookings there. I think the slide tackle from Jamie Walker, if David Gray made more of it, it would have looked bad, but I don't think it was particularly bad. And also with Cummins there, it wasn't like he booted the ball away. It was a little petulant back heel, and I'm glad the referee's just shown a little bit of, you know, composure to calm it down there.
Much better for the game. It's still 11v11. If you're hearing all the cheers around us, it's not just for the answers the guys are giving us. There's a Legends penalty shootout happening, and would you just know it, it's pretty competitive out there, but it's 1-1 here at half-time. We're back to the second 45 shortly. That Legends penalty shootout was completed at half-time. The result, not very popular round these parts, 5-4 Hibs. Don't forget, coming up tonight, BT Sport 2 BDO World Darts Championship, 6:30 PM, always worth a watch. We are just waiting on Hibs as well. They've made Hearts wait a couple of times, but Alan Stubbs, he'll be delighted with what he's seen.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, Hibs have been able to dictate the way they want to play the game. They've played their natural formation and style. It's Hearts, which is unusual, being the home team here with such a good record against Hibs. They're the ones that have been playing a containment game, and you know, they've got a good goal there that's got them back into the game, but I'm sure Robbie will be looking at, you know, how he's going to be able to change this to make sure they can get more into the game.
Despite the equaliser, Hibs will still be very confident, won't they? The way they played.
They should be, but I think Hearts are going to have to change their shape because what they've employed so far hasn't worked.
What do they do then?
Well, you know, I would imagine that they would want to play Payardo as the sitter and then have some more width, push Walker wider and Nicholson wider and have a 4-1-4-1 and really get themselves into the game.
Hibs are out. Just a brief one. How do you see this second 45 going?
Well, the biggest compliment you can pay Hibs is that Hearts are playing counter-attack. You know, I think Alan Stubbs will want that to continue into the second half.
And there is a change for Hibs as well. Let's get the news of that from Gary McAllister and Derek Ray.
Yes, Darryl, David Gray will be the player to depart the scene for Hibernian. We spoke about the forthcoming groin operation. Callum Booth is thrust into the spotlight. The 23-year-old spent last season on loan at Wraith Rovers, previous loans at Arbroath, Brecon, Livingston, and he's on as a substitute for the fourth successive game. Well, the first half was thoroughly invigorating. Let's hope for more of the same in the second. Hearts playing towards the Corgi Road end of Tynecastle. Well, they've got themselves back in this derby against the run of play, you'd have to say. The goal by Jamie Walker, offsetting the earlier strike from Jason Cummings. Morgado Gomes. Watched by Scott Robertson. Well, Gary, for you, what will be important in the second half? Actually, we'll come back to that. It's Walker. And he topples over. It's often that way in an Edinburgh derby. You begin a thought and then you quickly have to change gear. Nicholson. Oh, tantalising ball. And the header goes wide. Look who was up there. Adam Eckersley from left back.
And it's the left back, it does well. It's a good ball up to the back post. Eckersley hangs in there. Callum Booth into the action immediately. Eckersley beats him comfortably. He can't direct it on target.
Gomes trying to keep tabs on the substitute Booth. Morgado Gomes. I put that question to you again, Gary. What will be significant tactically, technically in the second 45?
I just thought in the first half they passed the ball a little bit too slow. They made the ball a target and Hibs really pressed it. They've got to try and move it quicker forward.
It's a little bit rigid from Hearts in the first half. Managed to settle into a proper rhythm. There's Danny Wilson from the back. That's with a slicker side. Robbie Nielsen has had the chance to address his troops, maybe tweak one or two things.
Just got to get the ball pinged into the midfield a little bit quicker, with more pace in the pass.
Gomes. Was it holding back? What's Stephen McLean going to do? To look at the incident again. Liam Craig called over. Remember, he was cautioned earlier.
Yeah, for something similar. Just a clash of boots there.
They'll have to walk something of a tightrope. Remember, we've seen red cards in the 2 previous derbies this season. Paul Hanlon with a raking free kick. Off the head of Dwabin. Here's to it for Patterson. Hibs have recorded just 4 wins in their last 27 visits to Tynecastle. And to score in 6 of their last 8 matches here. Nice to get on target today. Wolves pass. Scott Robertson there plugging the gap in midfield. Malonga, Stevenson to his left. Options in and around the penalty area. Handling. Started to nick it away from Gomes. Allen. Handling. And there to grab hold of it, Neil Alexander.
Handling persevered there. He managed to get his cross in.
Forceful play by Dwabin. This it again, Prince Dwabin. Now Keatings. That was a sore one. Now Prince Dwabin is going to be in a spot of hot water. Yellow card is already out.
The pass here from Craig's just a little bit short, as you can see. Again, just the sole of the boot that's showing.
So Prince Dwabin, after his misdemeanour, shown the yellow card. Joined Hearts in July after being released by Carlisle. Was on loan at Partick Thistle in the second half of last season. Level pegging then in this, the 3rd Edinburgh derby of the season. Cold but clear day in Old Reekie. Alexander wasn't exactly ideal.
No, that was a big slice on that one.
Let's run through the 2 teams for you to digest again. Just have to keep an eye on those yellow cards. So Cummings earlier on kicked the ball away, having been booked. Jason Cummings of Hibs. Stephen McLean let him get away with it. Now Nicholson. When he's in the mood, Sam Nicholson resembles a modern-day Rab Prentice. Dashing winger of the 70s. Wilson, now Gomes, trying to knock it into the stride of Keatings. Malonga did well. Handling, just trying to keep the move going. Hearts have it again to Eckersley. Payardo using Walker. Shot a bit too much of it to Stevenson. Almost plenty of bite to this game. Malonga. Go down a bit easily.
The Hearts fans getting frustrated. And the ball's up there to be won. Does he get enough of the ball? He doesn't get any of it.
Decision going against Alim Öztürk. Born in the Netherlands but of Turkish parentage. Scott Allen. Pleading his case. And Stephen McLean inclined to agree with Allen. Hibs free kick forthcoming.
A really good first touch by Scott Allen, turning away from Gomes.
Neil Alexander. That's fan growing up despite the advice of his father. A Hibby. magic spray in Scottish football at present. There's Allen, and that's routine for Alexander. Disappointing from Scott Allen.
Yeah, it's a wasted opportunity to put some quality into the box. Allen's shown that already, they can deliver.
Eckersley, in August after spending 6 years in Danish football. Öztürk. His radar is a little wonky. Cummings, Booth to his right. Callum Booth, first time. It's away by Ali Öztürk, trapped by Handling. Booth once more. It might fall for Lewis Stevenson. When he tried to set something up, there's a big shout from the Hibs players. Oh, they felt that there was foul play inside the box, but Stephen McLean unmoved. Cummings and Handling both close to the ball. It was Handling who was set flying.
And Handling goes flying up again. Scott Allen. Can Stevenson take the shot? No, he tries to pull it back. There's just a coming together. Payardo and Handling. No pen.
Away goes Allen. And Eckersley had to dig deep. Scott Allen trying to pose more problems for this Heart of Midlothian defence. Booth gets it back. And Cummings is waiting to pull the trigger. And Patterson taking it away from Malonga. And again is Stevenson. Craig. Free kick to Hibernian.
He's slightly outnumbered here, Craig, and it's late again from Walker. There's loads of petty little fouls now creeping in.
The Hibernian supporters behind that goal once again quite like the way this is going. So it was going to represent a stiff test for Hearts, the way Hibernian have been playing. Scott Allen. And Alexander hauls it in.
There's not many targets for Neil Alexander. He was trying to field it quickly.
Sam Nicholson not too chuffed with the course of events just then. Eckersley still control. Wabin. Gomes. Now Patterson. The veer away from Malonga. It was a striker's intervention. Dominic Malonga. Hearts free kick this time.
Patterson just gets the break of the ball here. There's a little shove in the back. It's a bit theatrical.
What can Hearts conjure? Mark Oxley, 24-year-old goalkeeper on loan from Hull. Stephen McLean having quite the lengthy discussion with Prince Wabin. Waiting to pounce. Wilson, Öztürk. About side by side. Prince Wabin with the delivery for Hearts. Patterson, ever-present threat at set pieces. Wilson.
Just gone a little bit scrappy.
Alan Stubbs and company recorded 7 wins in the last 8 away games. Away scorers in the championship. Wabin. Patterson. wants it. Gomes closest to the ball from the Hearts' point of view, and he goes again. Morgana Gomes. That was a little skirmish. No free kick, no penalty. This time a free kick against Gomes.
Just got to keep a calm head. I thought the first one Gomes was looking for the penalty. Just pops into the path of Gomes. He gets his body there first. I don't think there's anything in it. And then there's the retaliation. Again, it's the slightest of touches. People going to the ground readily.
Bayardo. That's the player competing for the header. Malonga couldn't bring it under control. Scott Allen. Cummings making his way through the middle, away by Danny Wilson. Oh, it's Walker, latest player to go down. The play rages on for now. Well, the Hibs players having something to say to officialdom, Stevenson in particular. It's a hard match to referee this, invariably.
Yeah, there's just loads of little niggly challenges here. Here's the first one. I don't think there's a great deal in that one. And Nicholson goes. There's a little nick round the corner from Walker. Booth catches him.
This is Öztürk. Inching towards the hour mark. Only 21 fouls.
Oh, I thought there was more, Derek.
Let's try to build from the back through Danny Wilson. No foul there. Keatings went down quickly, back up. Wabin almost fell on the ball. Oh, Hearts still going. Keatings looking for Nicholson. Patterson now. Jamie Walker. Nicholson going to glide his way through those Hibernian players. It's going to be a Hearts ball, and Cummings, well, he just checked himself.
He just needs to count to 10.
Yeah,
it's Cummings.
Bayardo. Tension-laden Edinburgh derby. 1 goal apiece here at Tynecastle. Eckersley. Showing a bit of flair out of Eckersley. Kevin McCarthy still out with that knee injury sustained against Rangers a few weeks ago. And Gomes half a Midlothian free kick. Needless to say, Liam Craig didn't think so.
It's good work by Eckersley. Gomes just dances inside Robertson here. And this time, Gomes gets the free kick.
Sam Nicholson, the 19-year-old. It's Prince Boabin. That was by Danny Handley. Liam Craig forward and space here for Scott Allen. It's Payardo. He was the defender, really, the midfield man back there to cover up. Boabin went down. Öztürk will be called upon and does his job. Callum Patterson. Gomes for Jamie Walker. There's a cracking equaliser from Walker earlier. Just brushed off Scott Robertson, no handball. This tends to move at an electrifying pace, the Edinburgh derby. No time to stand on ceremony.
Yeah, it's fierce across that middle third.
Danny Wilson has to be quick. Booth was trying to nip in there. Craig getting his head to it. Trying to to play his part. Booth and Cummings and Handling and Cummings. And there's space for Stevenson on the left. And queuing up in the middle, the Hibs players, including Malonga. And Payardo went back there to assist Öztürk and Wilson.
Scott Allen just getting more touches to dictate it.
Liam Craig intended for Danny Handling. And Alexander does it again for Hearts. Gomes. Nicholson. Talking to one or two Hearts fans this week, they felt a draw might not be the worst result in the world for the Jambos. Given how well Hibs have been performing, given the lead that Hearts already enjoy at the top of the table. Now Walker. Nicholson to his right. So he's got the defensive resources marshalled. Stevenson trying to attend to Nicholson.
Represents Hearts' best chance to make an opening. Walker, Nicholson, the direct running at the opponent.
Dylan McGeoch has been called back to the Hibs bench. He was warming up. Alan Patterson. Cummings with a touch now. Walker. Go on a slalom run. Walker. No penalty. Payardo did brilliantly. Nicholson, meanwhile, takes the tumble. Now Scott Robertson. Here's Malonga. And a bit of ground to cover. Turned out of play by Alim Öztürk for the minimum of fuss.
Yeah, Öztürk does well just to sweep across there. It's that direct running of Walker, Nicholson. It's causing Hibs problems.
Oh, Craig a bit cross with Dominic Malonga. Craig was hoping it would run towards him. It runs now towards Neil Alexander. That's had a shout for a penalty.
This is Walker driving into the box. I'm afraid he just runs into Lewis Stevenson here.
Minutes into the second half. It is 1 goal apiece. Payardo. Coolly done. Eckersley. Now Boabin. Just missed out Walker, but two Hearts players on the right. Nicholson one of them. Patterson the other. Corner.
And they want the 2v1 wide. Patterson just fails to beat the first man. It was Stevenson, but he wins the corner.
Sam Nicholson to deliver. Curve it away. Oh, it was deceptively good. Callum Patterson.
It's floated up to the back post. It's Callum Patterson, he just tries a looping header. Oxley had it covered.
Dylan McGeoch, a fit again. Dylan McGeoch is going to replace Danny Handling, the 20-year-old. His 12th successive start today. He was delighted to have Dylan McGeoch available once again. He's missed 9 matches because of an ankle injury. And this Hibs system suits him, Gary.
Yeah, he'll just go in and I think he'll just go to the right side there of Robertson. Craig to the left.
Boabin was up for the header, peering into the sun. Particular sector of the Tynecastle pitch. Robertson. He's being handed by Walker.
McGeoch will go to the right of the diamond. Scott Allen will just go to the tip of the diamond, playing behind
The front two. Scott Allen. Began his career at Dundee United, made only 9 appearances before moving to West Brom. Well, that again was too close to Alexander, and nobody there to challenge for him.
There's been 2 or 3 wasteful set plays from good areas as well to put the Hearts defence under pressure. He's better than that.
Spells at English clubs, a couple of loan spells at Portsmouth by all accounts. Didn't quite measure up there. Gomes. Because he gives it back to Morgado Gomes. Midfield motor of this Harder Midlothian team. Prince Wabin, 2 of them played together at Dundee United. Under Craig Levine as well, now the director of football here. Gomes. Patterson. Wabin, and now using Eckersley. Nicholson with a header. Sam Nicholson. Well, he wasn't picked up.
Yeah, as soon as they get it out from the congestion, White Eckersley, nice early ball in. Young Nicholson, middle of the goal, just a little bit loopy. Can't generate enough power on the header.
Scored against Hibs in August in the 2-1 victory for Hearts. Dylan McGeoch. Callum Booth trying to work something. Saw one for Cummings, he hobbles on, McGeoch has it again. Wabin, giving him a moment's peace.
Both teams are just a little bit guilty of giving the ball away cheaply. Need to show a wee bit more composure, a bit more bravery on the ball.
Scott Robertson, here's Jason Cummings. Malonga waiting in the middle. Cummings holding it up, decided to steer it back. Oh, Malonga was right on the doorstep. Callum Patterson with the intervention. How crucial was that? This is Craig now. And Stevenson. It was Stevenson's measured ball. It's Wilson's header away. And the whistle comes to the aid of Hearts.
And it just takes the pressure off Hearts for a second. Good pressure from Hibs. Cummings does ever so well. This is a clever ball again by Scott Allen. And it's Patterson on the full stretch. Oh, he did well there.
I wonder if something went twang as Patterson stretched.
Yeah, it was a cute little ball up towards Malonga from Scott Allen again.
I just want to make absolutely sure where Callum Patterson is concerned. Story of 2 goals on this derby to date.
Yeah, this is a delicious delivery here. And it's a cool finish by Cummings. And both of them delighted, as you can see, but this is a great equaliser as well. A lot of quality there. 2 super goals.
And Patterson to soldier on. Well, Marshall there, the physiotherapist, is making sure that Patterson's okay. Well, we're going to see a change for the Jambos. Billy King to replace Jamie Walker. Is Billy King's name synonymous with Hearts' derby victory last March? And so many people thought they would be relegated on that particular day. Jambos have their own views on that subject. Billy King scored right at the death to put the seal on victory.
It was a massive day for Hearts. They did not want to lose that one.
Liam Fontaine wasn't of a mind to take any chances. Patterson with it, gets it back immediately from Payardo. Wabin. Gomes. Eckersley the outlet on the Hearts left. Walker. His number's going to be up any second now. Gomes with the pass. Walker. Fielded by Oxley.
Good little run by Walker.
There's Turk. Quick fire stuff again. To deal with it on the fly. Malonga. Now Allen. Gomes. There's a battler. Booth. It's Wabin this time. And now a free kick awarded.
Just looked as if it may have been a handball just before it.
Here's the Hearts substitution now. Jamie Walker. Well, they thoroughly appreciate his Derby contribution. The 21-year-old with that excellent leveller. A time when Hearts were in need of inspiration. The replacement will be Billy King. Born here in Edinburgh. Hearts youth product. First senior goal. There's that strike against Hibs that you mentioned last season. Ian Craig. Now it's Malonga. Wasn't quite right for Dominic Malonga. Dylan Nagia. This was perhaps over vigorous. Malonga. A nimble play by Dominic Malonga. And Öztürk right in front of Neil Alexander. The concession of a corner.
Well, Öztürk to the rescue here. This is too easy for Malonga, just drifts past Bayardo, too easy. It's the big centre-back who clears.
Taken by Allen for Hibs. Into the thick of things. Ray was back defending, it's Booth. Couple of deflections, Booth one more time. Goal kick. Quick reminder, it's Hamilton Accies against Dundee United. Two of the high flyers in the Scottish Premiership. Monday the 12th of January. 7:30, BT Sport 1. Michael O'Neill, the Northern Ireland manager, will be with us on that particular night. Former Dundee United striker. Rangers against Hearts on the air Friday the 16th of January. BT Sport 1 from 7:30. Action from the Championship. Headed away by Leon Fontaine. What's in store for us in the closing phase of this Edinburgh derby?
Both teams just a little bit wary of making mistakes in crucial areas, taking no risks.
It's Billy King across the face of goal. And Sam Nicholson's turn. Wabin. Patterson. Oh, and Oxley had to hang on. Nicholson was right by his side.
They eventually work it wide to Patterson. It's an awkward one in towards the near post. Just thought for a second Oxley had lost it. He recovered well.
Here's another free kick. Scott Allen just walks away. This is what happened.
Again, it's just another needless one. Allen just protecting the ball there.
Lugano Gomes, the offender. Well, they've been in magnificent voice. The Hibernian supporters, they've kept it going. Sea of green and white on that Roseburn stand. Öztürk put to work. Gomes. The bounce of the ball favoured Morgado Gomes. Keatings was almost in on the right. Billy King was working his way through the centre. Scott Allen, not quite. Allen tries again. Cummings. Malonga. Cummings, nobody there.
Oh, nobody getting in the box. There's a clever bit of movement from Cummings. He tried to delay it. There's nobody getting in the box.
Fontaine, it crashed off Stevenson. It's pulled away initially. Payardo couldn't win his little battle. Öztürk. Yellow card as well as a free kick. A booking for Alim Öztürk.
The referee quick to get the yellow card out. I thought he gets plenty of the ball there, Öztürk. There you go, he gets the ball. It's just the follow through that maybe gets him the yellow.
Well, is it going to take a moment of magic? Perhaps an awful mistake, you never quite know.
Just getting to that stage of the game where players are just fearful of making the fatal mistake. It's the ones that need to be brave, can change the game.
The left foot of Liam Craig for Hibernian. That's not going to trouble Alexander. Booth trying to knock it on. The 26-year-old, only his second Edinburgh derby. Alvaro Gomes. Öztürk. Keatings. Between them, the two sides have bagged 20 goals in the final 10 minutes of matches this season. Almost inside the final 10-minute spell. Stevenson for Hibernian. Malonga was there, it's McGeoch. Couldn't pull it back. Wilson making sure of that. McGeoch one more time. Öztürk away. Now Boabin. Trying to veer away from Callum Booth.
Hearts working hard to defend. Both teams capable of scoring late in games. Credit to their fitness. The pace of the game hasn't dropped at all.
Only failures to win by Hearts in the Championship this season. You can't really call them failures as such. Draws against Dumbarton and Hibernian. Away from home, they've been perfect at Tynecastle in the Championship. Hibs have really stretched them today, as we suspected they would. McGeoch. Will be a Hibernian throw. Here's Fontaine. Stevenson. Risky.
It's rare from Stevenson when he gets in that area.
The official attendance here at Tynecastle today is 17,279. That's one behind the attendance for the earlier Tynecastle Edinburgh derby this season. I wonder where the one person went. Somebody decided not to turn up today. Collision there, Patterson and Craig. Craig is back in business. Patterson still feeling the pain. Alvaro Gomes has again Hearts start from deep inside their own half. Hanlon was draped on over Keatings. Callum Patterson. Taken away from Malonga to begin with. Craig moved in there. Eckersley now. Wilson. Payarda. Starts ticking over in midfield. Now the burst by Eckersley. And oh, it was an excellent run made by Keatings. Couldn't quite get on the end of that. Nicholson happy enough to accept the corner.
Oh, and this time it was Fontaine on the full stretch. It's a super ball in again, but great defending.
There's Turk coming up from the back. Nicholson spotting the ball, being quite meticulous about it as well. Is there to be late drama in this Edinburgh derby? Patterson didn't quite get there. Cummings comes to nobody in particular. Eckersley, Patterson, Eckersley. Roberto Gomes. Sam Nicholson. Eckersley. It's Keating's offside. Quick reminder about Fletch and Sav coming your way next weekend. That's BT Sport 1 Saturday from 10. Darren Fletcher, Robbie Savage. And that will lead you into Sunderland against Liverpool in the Barclays Premier League. Saturday from midday, BT Sport 1. Substitution time for Hibernian. And that will be all for Jason Cummings. And there'll be a role for Martin Boyle. We saw him as a substitute just a couple of days ago on this channel, playing in a different derby, the Dundee derby, for the Dark Blues. The wrong end of the scoreline on that particular occasion. 6-2 thumping handed out by Dundee United. He's joined on loan.
Let's give him a little bit of pace, tucking him behind.
And McGeoch with purpose. Plenty of drive there. Lewis Stevenson! Might still be on for Hibernian. Oh, it was Booth. He thought it was net bound. Over it comes again. Patterson for Hearts. Frantic defending. Craig. Twice now in the second half, Stevenson has had opportunities coming in on the left. McGeoch. Here's the man behind that last move. Allen. And Booth. Oh, and somehow it wouldn't go in. Öztürk making sure of that. And Boyle, the substitute, was right on the doorstep, but now action will have to be taken. Scott Allen being spoken to and will eventually be cautioned.
We've seen some super defending in the game today. There's been some great goals, but here a great example. Booth drives it across the 6-yard box. Öztürk with a great lunging tackle. Here he goes. Well, has just come on the pitch. You can see the glory, but it's great defending.
Scott Allen, meanwhile, has his name taken, but absolutely, Gary. Ali Öztürk spoke about his contribution at Easter Road in October in an attacking sense. Earning his corn as a defender, the way it should be.
It was classic last ditch. And there was a couple of great headers from Danny Wilson previous to that as well.
Who would you give the edge to in the second half, Gary?
I think it's been honours even, most definitely. We sort of negated each other.
Gomes, and it's opening up now for Boivin. Oh, Prince Boivin tried to get that to curl. Nearly.
Go on, did he mean it? I don't think he did. I think it was a cross. Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Cross shot.
Oxley. Far from perfect. Craig. Nothing there apparently. Craig to battle on. McGeoch has made a difference, a noticeable difference since coming on. Malonga, Stevenson. McGeoch wanted it played to him. Chipped in there by Dylan McGeoch. And Eckersley dealing with Boyle, who's doing the appealing. Stephen McLean unmoved. 1-1 it remains.
I don't know if Adam Eckersley knows that Boyle's directly behind him there.
Captivating action. Patterson. A spin and the turn by Keatings. Patterson, Stevenson, no foul.
It's a good battle when those two go head to head.
Callum Patterson once more.
Only one man in the box, not many targets.
A little bit more than 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Dominic Malonga, his last Hibs match for a while. He'll be heading off to the Africa Cup of Nations to play for Congo. Lewis Stevenson and Scott Robertson. Boyle reached out with a boot. Craig, it's good to see who was around him. Anderson, here's a shove on Boyle. Let's keep it moving. Stevenson. There's Dirk again attending to his defensive duties. Well, he's been kept pretty busy, this man today, Stephen McLean.
This is a little ball that stood up to the back post. Again, Eckersley, I don't think he can see Boyle coming in on the blind side here. He just gets enough of the ball.
Prince Wabin makes the long walk off the pitch. Applause from the Hearts supporters. Oh, the Ghanaian, this was his effort a few minutes ago.
I don't know if he was trying to shoot here. I think he was trying to drill it across. But he just threatened for a second.
Wabin will be replaced by Scott Robinson. 22-year-old, seems to have been around forever though. His 12th Edinburgh derby. End of the story for Wabin. Stevenson. Malonga has it now. Stevenson again. Immediate activity for Robinson, the substitute. Alexander, easy meet. William Craig is struggling visibly. Hibs have already used a full complement.
Just as we get into overtime, did you see it through?
Only a minimum of 3 added minutes at the end of this Edinburgh derby. Remember what happened in added time in October at Easter Road.
Don't we just?
Malonga. There's no foul there, there was. Garo Gomes. For the first time, when he joins the yellow card club.
It's hard to believe that's him just getting his yellow card. He's had 4 or 5 fouls maybe. He's saying one.
He can really quibble. It's the 7th caution of the afternoon. Seen a mixed bag in terms of deliveries from Scott Allen in this game. What does he have in store for Hearts here? Allen. Paul Hanlon was up there, so too Liam Fontaine. It's going to be a corner. Corner to Hibs.
A little bit safe, Scott Allen this time. He just punched up to the back post. Patterson flicks the top of his head to concede the corner.
Scott Allen. Will the prayers be answered? Right at the death. Allen takes it for Hibernian. Struck the header out of play. The gear didn't want to take the throw. So trying to get a substitute on. Will be Gary Oliver for James Keatings, former Celtic and Hamilton man. Had to do a lot of running without the ball.
It's been a tough shift.
So Gary Oliver, the 19-year-old, is on, just back from his loan spell at Stenhousemuir. Final few seconds. Boyle wanted it. Away by Payardo. Trying to keep it on the ground here, Hearts. Billy King. Oliver, the recipient of the free kick. Maybe one last chance for Hearts to knock it forward. We've almost had the 3 additional minutes.
I thought that was an opportunity to get in the box.
Honours even again in the Edinburgh derby, as it was in October, so it is again in January. But Hearts were made to fight every step of the way. Jason Cummings giving Hibernian a deserved lead. Beautiful finish it was, but Hearts had the wherewithal to draw level through Jamie Walker. That was a fantastic goal to deceive Mark Oxley. And it was a fiercely competitive second half with the tackles flying in non-stop. But over the piece, perhaps a draw just about right. It is finished here in the Scottish capital. Heart of Midlothian 1, Hibernian 1.
Derek and Gary, many thanks indeed. Once again, these two could not be separated. 1-1 again, just like the last derby. You wonder who will be happier with that. Alan Stubbs had said before the game, Hibs really needed all 3 points if they wanted to get back into the title race. And we'll be with the Jambos again Friday the 16th of January, a Friday night live at Ibrox. Another huge game for the Rangers against Hearts. That one, BT Sport 1. So Hearts have not conceded any ground at all to Hibs in this title race tonight. It's still 19-point differential between the teams. Rangers, though, of course, could close the gap. 16 points difference to them as it stands, but they are still sitting pretty at the top and they are still undefeated in the league. All the rest of the games today then: Cowdenbeath against Wraith Rovers, it's Falkirk against Alloa, Queen of the South against Livingston, and Rangers, as I just mentioned, can close the gap to 13 points. They're at home against Dumbarton. The JR's not exactly in great form though. Both of the goals in the first half, Jason Cummings had Hibs ahead, Jamie Walker struck back. Our full review is coming next. It was 1-1 today at Tynecastle. Perhaps a fair result in the end. Jason Cummings had Hibs ahead. Hearts fought back through Jamie Walker. Reaction from the away dressing room. Jason Cummings and Lewis Stevenson are with Mark Guidi.
Jason, you got the opening goal, a great delivery from Scott Allen for you, and you just put it away well.
Yeah, I've been waiting on that moment ever since they let me go as a kid, so I was delighted to get that in, and especially at Tynecastle, I was over the moon, like, buzzing.
You had a chance to make it 2-0 ahead at the back post. You disappointed you didn't put that one in?
I should have put away, but the deliveries were brilliant for Louis. Scott Allen, per usual, was always finding me, so I think we were unlucky today. Like, should have got more out of the game.
Louis, a bit disappointed that you've taken the league again against Hearts and not been able to hold on to it.
Aye, well, it's a funny feeling. We played alright in the game, but a great strike again for them. And no, it was maybe a good game to watch. It was end to end and stuff, hard going, but no, we're disappointed because we thought we had a good chance to come here and win, and we played well enough, but just fell short again.
Do you feel you can put a bit of pressure on Rangers and go above them in the table with the form that the team's in just now?
I hope so. We've been in good form and playing well, and just a few more wins and get a good run going. We've got a good chance, but we'll see how it goes. We need to take every game as it comes, so it doesn't matter if you play well one week, you need to keep it going and keep a level of consistency.
Would you like to catch up Hearts, Jason, and overtake them?
Well, it's quite a big gap now, so I'm not too sure, but if we get in the playoffs, we've got every chance to go back up, so just keep plugging away.
Thanks very much. Lewis, you are the BT Sport man of the match. Jason, if you can do the honours. Well done, lads.
He always gives us a line, doesn't he? Jason Cummins been waiting for that since Hearts released him. Very sweet moment, that goal for him today. Michael Stewart, Stuart Lovell, Stephen Craigan have been watching on with me. Michael, who's happier after that?
It's a good question. I think that I think Hearts will probably be happier, which is quite ironic considering the fact they're they've been the dominant team in this fixture for a number of years now, and they're so comfortably at the top of the table. But they came into this game, and I think, if you spoke to most Hearts people, they probably would have taken a point before it. They came out, and the way they set up was a containment sort of game. They weren't able to dictate their style onto and you heard Alan Stubbs before the game as well. He was very confident going into this one, and I think they've got a lot of positives to take from it and move forward into the latter part of the season. But over the piece, I think Hearts are probably happier.
I think Hibs had said before the game, Alan Stubbs had mentioned it, they really needed to win if they had any chance of clawing Hearts back. So look, maybe the title race is not on for them, but the progress they're making is clear, isn't it?
There's no question that they've improved since the start of the season, quite drastically, I would suggest. In terms of the title, I honestly don't think it would have made any difference even if Hibs would have won this game today. I think Hearts are too far ahead. But second place is a big carrot for them, because you have to play, if you're finishing third or fourth, you have to play an extra 2 games, and effectively you would have to play 6 cup finals to have a chance of getting promoted. So I think Hibs have got to concentrate on catching Rangers and making sure that they finish second, which will increase their chances of coming up via the playoffs.
Stephen, it wasn't quite so spectacular this time round like it was in front of our cameras in Leith. Why was that, do you think, today?
Well, I don't know. I think both halves kind of mirrored each other with regards that Hibs were the better team in the first half. They passed the ball a little bit better, a little bit more creative. Second half, Hearts came into it again. But I suspect that Alan Stubbs will be disappointed because of 2 pivotal moments. One, because Jason Cummings had a chance to make it 2-0, and then 3 or 4 minutes before half-time, then they concede the goal. So probably then Hibs were on top, and half-time was probably tough for him because he's thinking you've played really well, away at Hearts, away at a side where you've struggled in recent seasons, and suddenly it's 1-1. So he's probably most disappointed, but as regards Robbie Neilson, he'll be absolutely delighted, I think.
Let's work our way back through the match then, because it was Jason Cummings who got that sweet moment to put Hibs ahead early on, and at this point there's no doubt Hibs were on top, Michael.
Oh, there's no doubt about it at all. And you see this here into the wide areas, and David Gray giving good offer there for Scott Allen, and it just gives him that wee channel to play the ball into. As it comes out here, you see he attracts Adam Eckersley, and it just gives him that wee gap to play that ball in there. It's a fantastic ball and a real composed finish from Cummings.
Well, it was interesting because we spoke at half-time about Oztuk's positioning, and possibly he maybe has to anticipate that cross is going to go in there as opposed to reacting after the ball goes past him, as Michael said at half-time. He has to anticipate. As soon as Scott Allen takes his touch, he's got to think this is where the danger is, where he actually reacts too late, and that's when Cummings gets in behind him. Great
deliveries going in all day long, and of course there was another great one for Cummings shortly afterwards, and he'll look back at this, I'm sure he'll feel it should have been 2-0, Stuart.
Yeah, I spoke about this at the time, that when he drifts into a position, he doesn't do an awful lot. If you watch Cummings, there's not an awful lot of movement, but you coach as a kid to head the ball back where it was crossed from, and Neil Alexander as a goalkeeper is drifting across to cover this post. If Cummings heads it back where it came from, I'm pretty sure he would have scored.
It's also actually more difficult to try and guide it down to the near post, like you're saying there, because you're angling it can skid off your forehead. If you just get your full head on it straight back where it's come from, it can actually be an easier header to guide where you want it to go. And as Stuart's saying there, that with Neil Alexander coming across his goals, it's very difficult for him to then change to go back where he's come from.
With the way Hibs were playing at that time in the game, we all thought it would take a real moment of quality to get Hearts back into the game, and that's exactly what they got. Jamie Walker here.
Would you I think if you look at his receiving skills, you try and coach young kids and you talk about receiving the ball on your back foot and opening the play up, that's exactly what he does. It's basic and it sounds simple, but it suddenly creates that 2 or 3 yards that he talks about. Scott Allen, as Michael said, over closes down, but then the whole picture's opened up. He can really get his head up, and then it's just a moment of genius in a derby.
That's a really good point now that Craggs is making there, that especially like for midfield players and guys that play in those little pockets and in behind the striker, to let the ball come across your body, it opens up the whole game. If you play in the midfield as well, if you get the ball from your right, control it with your left, and it means you're balanced. You can look, you can play the ball out either side. When you take the ball with your closest foot, you close yourself down, you close the game down. And what Jamie Walker's done there, it just means that he's opened everything up. It's allowed him then to get past Scott Allen, and once he sees a sight on goal, he's always going to give it a shot there.
Wonderful strike, he will never forget that. I wonder what Alan Stubbs, the Hibs head coach, thought of the game. Back over to Mark.
Alan's a draw, but a fair result.
I thought we were the better team. I thought we created the most chances. I thought we should have had a penalty when the boys took Danny out for the cross in the box. But I thought we were great. I really did. To come here Hearts have been the best team this season, and you know, I said to everyone on our day what a match, and I thought we were more than a match today. I thought there was a little bit of containment in Hearts' team to try and stop us from playing, and I thought we were brave. I thought we really tried to get on the ball and to come here at Tynecastle and put a performance in of authority. I think speaks volumes for the lads, and they deserve a huge amount of credit for that.
In terms of the goal as well from Jason Cummings, great delivery from Scott Allen, a lovely finish.
Yeah, it was a great goal. To be fair, I think two different types of goals, but two very good goals within their own rights. You know, their lad's strike is a brilliant strike, and it gets them back in the game from not really being in the game. You know, and when you've got that quality, that's what it can do. At times, it gets you back in the game when you're not really. Well, I thought we were the better team. Well, quite a bit in the first half, and a bit of quality from them gets them back in the game and gives them a bit of a lifeline. But you know, lots of positives from our point of view today.
Is the immediate aim now just to overtake Rangers and get into second place, Alan?
The immediate aim is to keep winning games, you know, and we'll see where that takes us. We've just got to keep focusing on ourselves, keep playing the way we're playing, and we won't be far away. You know, I can assure people of that. But the lads have got a real togetherness about themselves at this moment in time. They know what we can achieve, and we'll keep going, and we keep putting performances in like we did today. Then we know we're going to be where we want to be at the end of the season.
You've managed to bring in Martin Boyle in this window. You gave him his debut today. Are you hopeful of getting one or two more in before the end of the month?
Hope so. I hope so. It can be a bit of a strange window, to be honest, January, and we need to keep making sure that we bring in quality rather than quantity. As I'm talking now, I'm just seeing the goals in the background. So we'll keep looking to strive and do that. You know, we've entered the window strong. We want to finish the window even stronger.
Thanks, Alan.
Cheers. Thank you.
You can tell he's really disappointed not to have won that game. So let's just clear up the penalty, though, that he thought Hibs could have had. He mentioned it there in the interview, Danny Handling, in the second half. Stephen?
Well, there's quite a lot of things I wouldn't disagree with Alan Stubbs on there, but I'm not convinced that's a penalty. You know, Danny Handling, yes, he's going for the ball. He's trying to get himself into the box. Is he going to get on to the end of the ball? I'm not too sure he is. Is there a nudge? There is. It's more coming together as opposed to Payardo going and actually shoving him out of the way.
Yeah, I would agree with Craigs there in terms of he's not stepped across him or really blocked him off. It's a coming together,
Yeah.
and also when you couple it with the fact that I don't think there was any chance he was going to get on to the end of the ball. So I don't think that was a penalty.
Hibs were pushing towards the end of the game and they came close. Martin Boyle also mentioned there just in. He played 45 minutes in the Dundee derby the other day. Wanted a bit of the Edinburgh derby as well and almost got the winning goal. What a block though by Alan Ostock.
Great defending. The overlap, I think Eckersley actually showed the overlap, and Callum Booth it is that delivers a great ball in there, and it's last-ditch defending, but it's brave defending, and it's very good defending by Ozturk, because that's effectively got his side a point today.
Stephen, he got the side a point
Well,
in
it's
the last
match
derby
saving.
too.
You know, I think it's earned a side a point. As a central defender, you have to be prepared to put your body in there. You have to try and read things at times, try and anticipate things. He didn't for the goal. Well, he certainly anticipated that really, really well.
Boyle would have, he would have been eyes glaring there, thinking he's got an open goal to get 3 points for Hibs, and would have been a good 3 points for them. But yeah, I mean it's a match-winning clearance from Ozturk.
What an introduction that would have been for Martin Boyle. Right, let's hear from Robbie Nielsen now, the Hearts head coach, with Mark.
Robbie, you happy enough with a point?
Yeah, it's another game undefeated. That's us 19 games into the season, which is a fantastic record, and it was a difficult game today. Hibs are on a real good run of form, similar to us, and it was two teams coming together, working really hard and playing some good football. And I thought, at times both teams kind of rode their luck, with some balls into the box, but it's another fantastic point for us. Like I said, the run keeps going, and we gear up for Dumbarton next week now.
And the strike as well from Jamie Walker to equalise was a bit special.
Yeah, he's got fantastic quality. As we get him into those areas, and he can do that. And it seems to be at the moment the goals we score are all fantastic strikes and good movements before it. I'd like to try and get a few scrappy goals in now and again, but really pleased with him today.
As you say, 19 games unbeaten. People are saying the title's in the bag. I know you're getting asked this all the time, but how do you feel about the situation where you are at the top of the league just now in terms of winning it outright?
The title's far from over. We gear ourselves up tomorrow to go to Dumbarton next week. Dumbarton is the this first ground we lost points at. We want to make sure we go down there and we pick up 3 points. You know, we want to try and go to every venue this season and get 3 points, and that's a place we haven't been yet to pick them up. So that's our motivation for this week, to right the wrongs of earlier in the season.
You seem to have a real determination to go through this season unbeaten.
No, I've not. I've got a real determination to win the league. You know, and under no illusions that it will come a point when we do lose a game. You know, and we have to be ready for that. But as the days go and the games get passed by, you know, the title's getting closer and closer. But it's still a long way to go. You know, there's still a lot of hurdles to get over, a lot of injuries and suspensions, and you know, difficult games that we have to endure.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you.
He is not conceding that title, is he? He's a man beyond his years, but it's interesting because yes, they have battled through injuries, suspensions, as he mentioned, and he wants to add players in January. He said before the match he wants to add another striker. Can you understand it on the basis of what you saw today, even although players like Osman Sow, Hasnaoui, Carrick are due back not in the distant future? Yeah, I mean, I can understand it because they're obviously not just looking at the next 6 months, they're looking further ahead. They're planning for the future at the club, and when you see, I spoke about before the game that maybe Hearts have been through their bad patch in terms of the fact that they've missed a lot of these key players. And you watch the game today, and Keatings is a different type of player. He's not somebody that's going to play up front and lead the line on his own. And that's why they need something else in there. And there's a couple of things that you take from today. Huge compliment towards Hibs in terms of the way Hearts set up, but also the fact that there is a real determination in the Hearts squad. Don't let Robbie kid you there. He wants to go through that season undefeated. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely, and of course Hibs want to push on as well and continue in this good run. Dominique Malonga is going to be off to the African Cup of Nations, as we know. David Gray came off at half-time and looks like he's going to need that groin operation, so they'll have to be without a few key players too.
That's something that I think every club has to accept over the course of a season, that you're going to miss key players, whether it's through injury or suspension. Hibs have got to reshuffle the pack, but they're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. I mean, I think that's another derby that they've dominated. I think they should have won the game today. They should have won the game at Easter Road. You have to give credit to Hearts because they are finding a way when they're not playing at their best, and when they're being dominating games, they're still grinding out points, which that's what wins you titles. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Enjoyed your company again. Don't forget tonight, BT Sport 2, 6:30 p.m. BDO World Darts Championships. Always well worth a watch. For the second derby in a row, it ended 1-1. Honours